Is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar, the GED Grad Day Informational Webinar for Educators. My name is Mimi Abdulkadir and I'll be your moderator for today's call. A few housekeeping items to go over. If you have any technical questions before the webinar, please type it into the question panel and we'll do our best to answer your question. When you log on, check your audio to make sure your headphones are working properly. And again, if you do experience any technical issues, feel free to send a question into the question panel. If you use your phone to call in, be sure to enter the appropriate codes. And as you enter the webinar, your audio will be muted to avoid any background noise. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Eliza Wong, who's our Director of Marketing.
Great. Thank you, Mimi. And good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. And thanks for joining us today. I assume you are here because you've received information from us about this great virtual event that we're planning for June 15th, GED Grad Day. And we want to just give you more details today about the event, give you a little bit of background on how the event came about, and give you more information on how everyone out there can participate. And then for the second half of today's webinar, I will turn it over to my colleague Jessica Pachala. She's our communications manager here at GED Testing Service. And she'll take you through some social media basics across the three major networks, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, to make you guys feel more comfortable if you're just getting started on social media, to make sure you're comfortable and can easily participate on GED Grad Day. So as far as background for GED Grad Day, one of the things that my team really focuses on and works on a lot is to think of new ways to reach test takers, to continue to build awareness for the GED test, and to get more test takers engaged and potential test takers engaged and interested in the test. So in order to do that, we try to get a better understanding of who our test takers are too, not just their demographics, but their lifestyles, what they're doing, how they're spending their time, so that we can send them the right message at the right time to build that awareness and to get them interested in the GED test. So in 2014, we did an extensive consumer profile study of our test takers. We found out a lot about the test takers, but one of the main things we found out as well is that test takers are indeed spending a lot of their time on social media. The majority of our test takers were active on social media, even back in 2014. So I imagine if we were to revisit that survey this year in 2016, we would find that those percentages have even gone up, because we know that in the past 2 years, digital and social media have continued to grow exponentially. So during that survey in 2014, we found that 70% of GED test takers were active in using Facebook, 32% of them were using Instagram, and 22% of them were active on Twitter. Something else we also know about our test takers is that 74% of them are between ages 17 and 29 years old. So overall, we know that our test takers skew younger, and the Pew Research Center did a study as well recently, last year, and they came out and said that 90% of 18 to 29-year-olds in the U.S. are active and using social media channels. So again, the majority of our test takers probably, since they skew in that age range, they're probably even more active than what we found in our consumer profile study. So given all of that information, we know that we want to reach test takers through social media. They're active on social media, and we can send them the right messages at the right time to get them engaged. So over the past few months, what GED Testing Service has done is invest a little bit more of our resources into reaching those test takers and those potential test takers on social media. If you follow us on Facebook or on Twitter, or if you're following our new Instagram channel, you may have seen some of this new content that we've been putting out over the past few months, we've been spending more resources on developing original content and developing more content and putting it out there across our networks. We've also been investing in advertising on these social platforms because we know with advertising on the social platforms, again, we can reach the audience that we're trying to reach, and the platforms allow us to get really targeted. The ad products that they have on these platforms allow you to do a lot of different things, including getting really targeted in terms of who we're trying to reach. We can target by demographics, by education levels, so we really can sort of input all these different factors that we know about our test takers, get this right message in front of them at the right time. But something else that we want to do here at GED Testing Service is go beyond that. Go beyond just posting content and beyond just advertising that content on the social networks. Because something else we know about our test takers in terms of their use of social media is that there's a lot of good organic conversations already happening out there about the GED test. Our test takers, our graduates, friends and family of test takers are all posting out there about the GED test and its various messages that are motivational, are inspirational, and can get other potential test takers interested and motivated for the test as well. So here are just a few examples just in the recent past couple of weeks that we found across social media. And this isn't just on our handles, but on various other test takers' social handles that they're posting organically. So for example, on the left here is someone that just graduated. He just received his GED diploma, and that post is from his mom saying how proud she is of him. This person is currently a musician, and he's done pretty well for himself. He didn't have to go and get his GED diploma. He already found success in the music industry, but this was something that he really wanted to do. And his mom is just expressing here how proud she is of him. On the right is a current test taker who is determined to get her GED. She mentions here that she's going to all her classes and she really wants to get her life back on track. And then one particularly interesting one that stands out to us is this post down here on the left from this woman who said that she took the GED test, she passed reading through language arts, but she missed science, social studies, and math by just a couple of points. And she wasn't going to go back, but with all the motivation that she sees on here, she's definitely going back. So this was a post that was on our Facebook page, and there were other folks on there posting, commenting that had just received their diploma. They gave words of inspiration and advice saying to never give up and this is the best thing they've ever done. So this woman saw those comments, those posts, and was inspired enough to then go back and try again, which is really exciting. And those are the types of organic conversations that we want to continue to happen, and we want to drive more of those conversations across social media. So when we look at the conversations that are happening about the GED test across the different social media channels, we can see this chart shows the level, the volume of conversations that have been happening over the past year. So it's been pretty steady. It's been pretty level. There's not huge spikes in terms of conversations about the GED test that are happening out there. The biggest spike that you see here is on the right-hand side in January of this year, which is when we announced the cut score change. So there were more conversations happening then, but again, not a huge spike. Definitely more going on out there in January, but again, pretty level in terms of the amount of conversations that have been happening about the GED test. So what we want to do is really have an event that takes place that inspires people to go on social media, to have those organic conversations, to post about their experience, to have graduates post about their experience and to share advice, and to hopefully motivate other potential test takers, future students, to then take that next step into their future. And that's how the whole idea of GED Grad Day came about. So GED Grad Day, which is happening on June 15th, will be this virtual event And our mission for that day is to drive conversation and action by celebrating GED graduates. We're now over 20 million. We're 20 million strong in terms of the number of graduates out there. So that's a great success. They've all accomplished a lot, and we want to celebrate all that they've accomplished. But at the same time, we also want to motivate the next generation of students to open the doors to their futures. And so GED Grad Day is a virtual event, as I mentioned. It's primarily focused on social media channels and really primarily focused on the 3 big social media networks. So that would be Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we'll be promoting this day. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be promoting this day heavily to all of our students or current test takers, to our graduates, to educators that we work with regards to our GED Works partners, to employers, to influencer organizations, and we really want to cast a wide net and engage this vast audience because everyone can participate in this day, and we want to engage them around this day's mission. And everyone can do 3 things on June 15th to get involved in this day. So the first thing that we ask people to do is post their open door message on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And we want them to take a photo of themselves opening a door, post that photo with a caption explaining how education opens the door to the future, and then use the hashtag GED Grad Day. And if you're not familiar with hashtags, when I turn it over to Jessica for the second half of this webinar, she'll go into more detail about hashtags and the importance of hashtags on social media networks. But the GED logo, I don't know if you guys out there know, but the GED logo is really based on this open door. The fact that the GED opens the door to a vast amount of opportunities for students. So that's why we really want to tie it all together in terms of this open door message. And we want to see a lot of these selfies and these photos out there on that day opening that door and showing that folks are opening that door to their futures and to their future opportunities. So that's the first thing that folks can do to get involved. The second is we ask people to come and engage on our Facebook page that day. On that day, we're going to be hosting a live Q&A session from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. So anyone can come and ask questions that they have about the GED program. So if they're just getting started, if they're during it and they have a lot of questions, they can come and they can get their answers immediately. We'll have administrators on that page hosting that page and making sure that they're quick to answer all of the questions that come in. Educators as well, you guys are all welcome to come and post any questions that you have with regards to the GED program. As well, we invite you to come and engage on that page, to comment on posts, to find posts that you like and share those. We'll also be posting a new GED Grads video that day that we'll have on the page so you can come and view the video, like it, share it with all of your friends and followers. And we really just want a lot of engagement and a lot of activity happening on our GED Facebook page that day. As you saw earlier, a significant number of test takers are active on Facebook. Facebook really is kind of the behemoth of the social networks. So we'll have a lot of activity going on that day to engage all of the different audiences. And then finally, the third way that people can get involved on GED Grad Day is to help us spread the word. First thing we ask people to do is if they know someone without a high school diploma, to reach out to that person on June 15th and just talk to them about the opportunities that the GED opens, the different opportunities that they can have open to their future, and encourage them to start that journey. We also invite students, graduates, educators, influencers, everyone to participate with us on GED Grad Day, to celebrate with us online. So we encourage you to reach out to all of your vast network of students and graduates and partners as well, and invite them to participate. After this webinar, we'll be sending out an email to all of the educators, and included in that email is a link to a flyer that educators can use and distribute in their centers to their students. So that'll give more information to students about GED Grad Day and encourage students to participate in that day as well. And finally, we'll also be including in our resources that we send after this webinar, sample social media posts. There will be a partner toolkit that explains more about the day, and it includes sample social media posts and sample graphics that you can use leading up to the day as well as on the day of to continue to help us promote GED Grad Day. And you can use this across your own personal handles as well if you are the administrator for your center's social media networks or social media handles. Then we encourage you to post on behalf of your center as well, or work with the person at your center who handles social media and make sure that they receive this information and can promote GED Grad Day as well to everyone. So really this can go across your personal handles as well as your center's social media handles. So to recap quickly, June 15th is the virtual event, GED Grad Day, and we'll be celebrating our 20 million strong GED graduates and motivating others to start that journey. And there's really 3 simple ways that we're asking people, everyone out there, to get involved on that day. By first posting their open door social media message, by 2, engaging with us on the GED Testing Service Facebook page that day, and then 3, helping us spread the word. So with that, I will now turn it over to our communications manager, Jessica Pachala, who, as I said at the beginning, will take you through some social media basics for those of you out there who are just getting started with social media, as well as it will be a good refresher for some of you out there if you want to just refresh some of your social media skills across the 3 main networks of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thank you, Eliza. Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica Pachala, the Communications Manager for GED Testing Service. Thanks again for joining us. A little bit about myself. I've been responsible for social media strategy for many years with numerous employers, and I've won some awards for that work as well. I am very excited to speak with you today about how you can help make our digital event a big success this year. In this portion of the webinar, we'll take a close look at the social networks. I'll paint a picture of the social media landscape we're operating in, explain how you can use the social networks to participate in GED Grad Day, complete with instructions for the 3 major social networks, and I'll answer questions at the end. Thanks again for joining us. We are very excited to have your help kicking off our first GED Grad Day digital celebration. Let's get started. We'll start with a look at the current social media landscape. Facebook remains the social media giant, as Eliza mentioned, around the world and here in the U.S. There are 1.65 billion monthly active users on Facebook, and more than half of them use Facebook on a daily basis. The vast majority of users are on mobile devices, and you'll see that's true for the other social networks that we'll discuss too. Facebook owns another social network called Instagram. Well, you can view it on a computer. The real action happens inside the Instagram app, and it's available for Apple and Android devices. Instagram has 400 million monthly active users. Twitter has 310 million monthly active users, and it reports 83% of those users are accessing the network on mobile devices, which includes smartphones and tablets. Pew Research Center looks into the use of social media, and here's a link to the report. It looked at trends from 2005 to 2015, and that showed a dramatic jump in the use of social media by American adults during that decade. Now that you know the massive reach of these leading social networks, let's talk about how you can use them to publish news that matters to you, and we hope support our first GED Grad Day digital celebration. On Facebook and all of the social networks, you have the option of creating your own content or amplifying our content from the official GED Testing Service accounts. You can do this through your personal profiles or, as Eliza mentioned, through Facebook groups and brand pages that you may run. Here's how to create your own content on a personal profile. First, log into your account. In the status update box on the top of your Facebook wall, type the content that you want to share with others. The top arrow shows where to do that. If you're supporting our event, please use the hashtag GEDGradDay in your message. If you're unfamiliar with hashtags, they help others quickly understand the subject of your content. You'll want to type your hashtag just like this, without any spaces and with that pound sign at the start. The next step is to add a selfie or photo with an open door. To do that, press on the camera icon under the text box, and that's where my second red arrow is pointing. Once clicked, it will allow you to select an image from your computer. The process is similar on your mobile devices, but you also have the option of taking a photo within the Facebook app. And here's what that looks like on a smartphone. Again, the first arrow points to the text box for your status update, and the second arrow points to the camera button. Now take or select an appropriate image. Back to the desktop view, here's what it looks like once you've selected a photo to use. Your next steps to set the privacy level for the post. I suggest public, so everyone on Facebook can see your support of the GED program. Use that drop-down menu under my first arrow to set this privacy level. Then press the post button shown under my second arrow. And that's it. Here's what the final product looked like for me in the Facebook app. Now I have to say, when it comes to the photos, please don't be shy. Feel free to show your smiling face in a selfie with an open door by you. Again, here's Eliza's example on Instagram. We'll get to Instagram in a few minutes. Another way to participate in the GED Grad Day celebration is to share content we publish on our official accounts, and that's very easy to do. Just start by logging into your Facebook profile, then use the search feature to find our page. We are GED Testing Service, home of the GED program. And here's what that looks like on Facebook. The search bar is on the top left by my first arrow, and the result for our Facebook page is noted with the second arrow. Another way to reach our page is to use that dark black URL on the bottom of this slide. Scroll down our wall and find the post that you like best, maybe a photo or a video. Then simply press the share button directly under that content. It's to the right of the red arrow I added for you on this example from the Facebook app. Again, I suggest sharing the content on your personal profile with everyone. Those settings will be available to you in the drop-down menu on your computer or mobile device. Just pick the desired settings and then press Post. The final way you can participate in GED Grad Day on Facebook is to join our live chat on June 15th from noon until 3 Eastern. It's easy to do. Simply visit our Facebook page and comment on the conversation on our wall. You can ask us questions or even offer advice to GED students. Our trained account administrators will quickly respond to you with answers from subject matter experts within GED Testing Service. We are looking forward to this live event on June 15th, and we hope you'll join us for this exclusive event on Facebook. On Instagram, the opportunity to participate in GED Grad Day is similar. You can connect with us there and then publish GED Grad Day content on your account. Start by logging into your account and then please follow us. This is our new account, my_GED. If you enjoy the content, press on the heart under the photo or video to like it, or just double tap on it with your finger. You can also publish your own open door selfie on Instagram like Eliza. Again, please do not forget to use that hashtag GED Grad Day. Just put it right in your caption. Twitter is another great social network to use to celebrate GED Grad Day, and creating content here is similar to the Facebook app. Curating content's easy too. After logging into your accounts, visit our accounts, GED Testing and My GED, and press the retweet button under the content you like best. That puts it in your feed for your Twitter followers to see. Once again, I marked the retweet button with the red arrow. To create new content on Twitter, from your home screen, use the text box that asks what's happening. Type your content and use the icons to add photos or video, and then press the tweet button, and I marked that with the second red arrow for you. If you happen to be on another page within Twitter, you can simply press the button marked by the third arrow on the far right. Then a text box will appear for you. The process is similar in the Twitter app and on Twitter's mobile websites. If you're adding an open door selfie, please remember that horizontal photos look best in Twitter feeds. This is a nice example. As we open up the phone lines to take your questions, here's our reminder of our official accounts. You'll find GED Grad Day content on these accounts. Thank you for joining us for this GED Grad Day webinar, where we hope to earn your support online. Mimi, do we have any questions?
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Yes, there were a few great questions that came in. One of the questions was someone who's asking about their adult education graduation program next Monday, and if they were wondering if there was any way they could use GED Grad Day among the graduation itself to inform students about other ways of their learners to learn about it.
Sure, I think that's a great opportunity to tell people about GED Grad Day. As I mentioned, we will be sending out some information and resources after this webinar as well. So included in that is a flyer that educators can print out and distribute in their centers, and certainly can distribute at that actual graduation event as well. So it'll just be another way for these graduates to get engaged, to participate on June 15th, and we highly encourage it.
Okay, and then one good question came in about if students would be able to ask questions in Spanish during the GED Grad Day promotion.
Oh, that's a great question. We do have some Spanish-speaking members on staff, so we will just reach out to those members of our staff and make sure that they are on hand if we do get Spanish questions coming in. We will do our best to make sure that we have the resources to answer those questions as well.
Okay, great. Another question that came in was whether or not the recording will be available online.
Yes, this webinar is being recorded. It will be posted, and as well, it will also be included in that follow-up email that we send out after the webinar.
Okay, and then one last question it looks like here. One person asked if it was possible to get a copy of the slides. I'm guessing that would be in the, will that be available online as well?
Yes, yep, we can post the slides as well.
Okay, great. And I don't think there was anything else here. Oh, there was one more question that came in. Will the live Facebook on June, when was that, Jessica? Was that June 6th?
June 15th from noon until 3 o'clock Eastern is our live chat on the Facebook wall.
Great. They wanted to know whether or not it will have audio or just texting.
This is going to be text only this year. If we bring the event back in a future year, we hope to grow it and expand it, and it may include live streaming or video then.
Okay, wonderful. It looks like that was the last question, and that wraps up our webinar. Did you want to add anything else, Eliza or Jessica?
No, just thank you to everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and that concludes the webinar.